The only famous inmate to be housed there. We had Sam Bankman-Fried there, R. Kelly, Ghislaine Maxwell. They were all inmates there. Sean Combs is being kept away from the general inmate population. You say his fame makes him a target.
Yeah, sure. And not necessarily at the MDC only. I mean,
anywhere.
Yes, in my humble estimation, his life, his safety is in jeopardy in any correctional lockup right now. If it is true, as reported, that he is housed in the special housing unit, it's important to note that the special housing unit is a lockdown, 24-hour lockdown unit. The MDC Brooklyn is a high-rise. The vast majority of the floors are general population floors. But the special housing unit is a 24-hour lockdown facility. So this is for Mr. Combs' protection. His incredible worldwide celebrity combined with the allegations, the charges now, and indictment, of course, of acts of violence against women make him a very attractive target.
All right.
Obviously, they need to safeguard him.
This is a man accustomed to the very finest. He was arrested at the Park Hyatt Hotel in New York City, known for its luxury suites and exceptional food and wine, where one-bedroom suites start at $3,000 a night. He was probably staying in something larger. What is life like for him now at the MDC?
I would say 100% total culture shock. The MDC is, I've used the word austere a lot, but it is. It's austere, it's strict, it's impersonal, it's cold, and it is a very tough place to be detained.
Former wardens and prison guards from the Metropolitan Detention Center, where Diddy is currently being held, have come forward with details about his conditions behind bars. According to sources, Diddy is under strict surveillance, with his cell being continuously monitored following reports that he allegedly attempted to harm himself. The heightened security measures suggest growing concerns over his well-being, as authorities take no chances in ensuring his safety.
Well, Natasha and Steve, for the first time in his life, Sean Diddy Combs has spent a week behind bars. He's here inside MDC, where he's been since his arrest on Monday night on federal sex trafficking and other charges, to all of which he's pleaded not guilty. There's no VIP section, there is no concierge, only con men, killers, and kingpins. MDC is so bad, federal judges have questioned the harsh conditions for those here awaiting trial. So bad, I was here 2 years ago during a cold spell, reporting on detainees with no heat, pounding on windows for help. There was even a congressional inquiry. But take the word of a former inmate I spoke with who goes by Esco.
It's terrible. The food is terrible. Of course, the inmates are terrible. The guards are terrible. The conditions are terrible. It's just terrible.
The inmates that you're surrounded around, just in general, a lot of them are brought up on pretty heavy federal indictments, right? So just in terms of the atmosphere there, it's just certainly one that no one wants to be in.
Combs was placed in a special housing unit and on suicide watch, the standard protocol for high-profile celebrity detainees. The disgraced mogul was denied bail by 2 separate judges. His attorney, Mark Agnifilo, asked the court to transfer him to the federal detention section at the Essex County Jail, but the judge deferred to the Bureau of Prisons. Federal trial attorney Philip Hamilton says lockdown can mean a lot less time to prepare your defense.
In terms of fighting their case, it just makes it all the more difficult, because now in terms of you being able to communicate with your attorney, you are at the realms of just what's going on with respect to the facility. Is it on lockdown? Is the facility letting visitors in?
Detainees on suicide watch wear tear-away paper hospital-style garments and rubber shower shoes. The isolation may be the worst part for Combs. It's being done for his protection in the violence-prone facility. He will have no bunkie.
He's probably not going to have any contact with any other inmates. So for him, it's going to be a little different than for a person like me, where I will go through process and intake, and then they'll assign me a cell, and I'll have a bunkie or a cellmate, and I'll be in population.
For him to be able to get out at this point, it just doesn't look good.
Diddy is set to spend the next 6 months at the Metropolitan Detention Center, MDC, in Brooklyn, New York, as he awaits trial, which is scheduled for May 5th, 2025. However, reports suggest that he is struggling behind bars. Due to threats on his life, Diddy has been placed in solitary confinement and is being kept away from the general population. Allegedly, individuals he once blackmailed are now seeking revenge. making it too dangerous for him to be housed with other inmates. To make matters worse, allegations of child abuse have only heightened the risks he faces in prison. Inmates convicted of such crimes are often targeted, and many don't survive their first 6 months behind bars. This has reportedly left Diddy fearful for his safety, as he knows that prison justice can be brutal. With his trial still months away, his time at MDC is shaping up to be a difficult and dangerous ordeal.
So breaking news right now, Larry, I am just getting word. People magazine says it's got a source on the inside that tells them that P. Diddy's on suicide watch tonight. Do your sources confer the same information? Are they saying it was possible?
Hey, real quickly, all that commissary stuff, he's not getting any of that because people in the SHU have an abbreviated list. So he's out of luck. No stake for him. Yeah, he is on suicide watch. This guy thought he would have went home. All of a sudden, he didn't get bond. Remember, the first night that he was there, he was like an overnight guest. When they told his bond hearing, now they checked him into the system, and reality has hit him. And I understand that he has a shrink coming by his cell to see him several times a day. And now there's talk about putting him in, it's like a bubble. It's like a cell that has like a plexiglass wall in it where they have inmates watching you. That's actually their job, to keep an eye on the inmates that are on suicide watch. Another error that I guess some warden told you this. There are sentenced inmates there. They're called cadre inmates. They don't have to be white collar inmates, but they're doing maintenance on the building. And the problem why there's a lot of violence there, they have housing units. And they're mixing bank robbers, drug dealers, rapists with white collar people. And this is why Diddy, he can't go into a regular housing unit because somebody will take him out for sure. Somebody's gonna get a lot of street credibility out of this. People that are doing substantial time that know they're never getting out. They'll just kill a guy, no questions asked.
You think that they'd suck up to him because he's got a lot of money, and if he ever does get the commissary options, he would be able to help them.
Some people do because
I got to wrap it real quick.
Okay, some people do think that Diddy can help him, but this guy's going to be locked up forever. His case will probably take at least 3 years to litigate. He'll stay at MDC. There's rumors that he wants to go to Essex County Jail in New Jersey because he doesn't like MDC. He's a Marshals inmate. There's no way they're going to transfer him back and forth, I don't know, several times a week, 6 Marshals to do it. He's out of luck.
Diddy's life behind bars has become increasingly grim, with sources close to the situation revealing that he is near his breaking point. He spends almost 23 hours a day in solitary confinement, unable to make a single friend. Reports indicate that he has even attempted to bribe fellow inmates for access to their phone privileges, but after prosecutors caught on, he was forced to stop. Allegedly, he was using these calls to contact victims and interfere with witnesses. His foreseeable future at the Metropolitan Detention Center, MDC, in Brooklyn looks bleak. He is reportedly allowed only 1 hour of recreation per day and just 3 showers a week. Meals are delivered to his cell, consisting of basic prison fare such as egg noodles, cereal, chili, and peas. If he needs alternatives, MDC's commissary offers limited options, including a 6-pack of Hershey bars for $75, peanut butter for a little over $3, and stuffed chicken with rice for $5.75. Once a staple at the Met Gala and global fashion events, Diddy now wears prison-issued clothing. If he wants extra attire, he can purchase a sweatshirt for about $16, New Balance sneakers for $55, and boxer briefs for a little over $6. His entertainment options are also limited. He can buy an MP3 player for nearly $90, but his spending is capped at $160, a stark contrast to the millions he once spent freely. Former inmate Larry Levine, who has experience at MDC, warns that Diddy's life is in danger. Several inmates are reportedly targeting him, and it may only be a matter of time before an accident occurs. The psychological toll is becoming evident, as eyewitnesses claim Diddy has lost a significant amount of weight and appears deeply depressed. Having traded luxury hotels and lavish parties for a tiny cell, Diddy is facing the harsh reality of his new life behind bars. The nature of the information Diddy might reveal has made him a high-risk target, drawing comparisons to Jeffrey Epstein. With powerful figures potentially implicated, his safety behind bars is in question. Several people close to Diddy believe he doesn't have what it takes to endure life in prison, and his recent meltdown seems to confirm their concerns. Reports suggest that he was seen crying and yelling, desperately pleading with guards to let him out. The psychological strain of incarceration appears to be overwhelming him, and after only a few months in custody, he is already struggling to cope. Once a dominant figure in the entertainment industry, Diddy is now facing the harsh reality of life behind bars, isolated, vulnerable, and under constant watch. With threats looming and his mental state deteriorating, questions remain about how much longer he can endure this ordeal.